It is day 18 of my 30 days of decluttering in January, a challenge, and I am tackling baking supplies today. Now, I love baking. This is definitely one of my hobbies. I don't get around to doing it as much as I would like, but I'm baking cakes most months, and the majority of the cookbooks I have are baking cookbooks. I would say that I am a decent enough cook, and I'm a decent enough baker, but my heart is in baking rather than cooking. And I nearly got taken out by the rolling pin here, and my kids are asleep. My 2-year-old's bedroom is right above the kitchen, so any loud noises really make me like cringe when I'm in the kitchen. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna wake up the baby. But she did not wake up, and I quite enjoyed this exercise. Like, I like going through my baking supplies, remembering what I have, working out what I need to replenish. And so I always say, like, with these exercises, like, it's about decluttering. It's not about reorganization. It's not about cleaning. It's about decluttering. But I feel like with this particular exercise, it was a bit of everything, a bit of decluttering, a bit of reorganization. And because I don't get everything out of this cupboard very often, I did give it a wipe down as well. And I think where there is an area of the house that I am very rarely like emptying out, then I will use it as an opportunity to give things a wipe down. Okay, so here I was going through the flowers. I managed to get the whole of the plain flour into the container. Always feels good when you can like empty something out like fully. It's so annoying when you go to empty something, you've got a little bit left in the bag, isn't it? And then just going through some of my supplies here and like working out if things are still in good condition, if things are in their sell by date. Like cocoa powder, there's hardly anything in there, so I know that I need to get some more of it. And I was thinking, this is a sweetener that I very rarely use, but my sister does use it if she comes around and has like a cup of coffee. She likes sweetener, and I was like, that must be out of date by now because it's so old. Oh my goodness, it's like in date until like 2028. Like, what do they put in these things to make them last that long? Now I do have quite a few like sprinkles and things. I just had to check that the chocolate chips were still okay, and I can confirm they were all good. And then I have yeast because I make my own bread quite often. Now don't be impressed, because I do have a bread maker, which means I literally just pour the ingredients into the bread maker and it does its thing. But I only recently realised that the yeast, once it's open, you're supposed to keep it in the fridge and then use it within a few weeks. So I'd had that one open for ages and I chucked it in the cupboard. So it will no longer work, which is really annoying. But, you know, you live and learn. And I haven't been making my own bread for that long. So there we go. We've learned something. And actually, my mum's been making bread for like years. And she only found this out recently and told me. And I was oblivious and she was oblivious. So I felt a bit better about it. Always read the labels on things, guys. So we have like birthday cake supplies here. I do try and make the kids birthday cakes as much as I possibly can. I can't always, and sometimes I will buy a shop bought cake and then decorate it how the kids want it decorated. Like if it's really busy time, if it's a bit crazy at work or whatever, then I will do that. I would just do the best. Like, we can only do our best, right? But I do like to make the kids cakes as much as I possibly can. And I have this really awesome cookbook for birthday cakes, and it is by Cadbury's, and it was actually published in the year of my birth. So it's quite old now. And my mum had this cookbook, and growing up, when it was like the approach to your birthday, mum would give us the cookbook and we would get to choose the birthday cake that she was going to make us. And I loved pouring through the pages of it, whether it was like the month of my birthday or whether my birthday had only just happened. I'd like to go through it and like I'd be planning out next year's birthday cake like well in advance. So my sister has the original cookbook that my mum had, and I managed to get a copy on eBay like ages ago, just for like a few quid. It was like really reasonable actually, and I'm so glad that I have a copy of it. So now my kids do the same, and I love that when it's like on the approach to their birthdays, I can give them the book and they go through the pages, looking at everything, they get really excited, like it's a really exciting thing, and then they will choose the cake that they want to have made. And some of them like are trickier than others, but I feel like it's one of those cookbooks that everyone could muddle through and make something, your own version of them anyway. Mine don't always turn out exactly like the picture or anything, but I do enjoy that. So I have a few things here which I'd got for like birthday parties, and I was thinking, you know, Valentine's Day is coming up. I found a packet of like Valentine's cupcakes and little cupcake toppers, which I'd obviously got for last Valentine's Day and not got around to using. So this was a great exercise, reminding me that I had them. I can use them for this coming Valentine's, which is just around the corner. And then I can put those little like tennisy racket things out for the kids when I make their Valentine's table. So I did this in the last couple of years. I've made them a Valentine's table, which basically it's very simple really. And I usually just go to like Poundland, buy some red balloons, a few sweets and chocolates, and I make them a slightly nicer breakfast on Valentine's Day, put a few things out for them, cards, and they absolutely adore it. And I feel like it's minimal effort for quite like a big impact. I don't think my husband and I really do much for Valentine's Day. Like, I can't remember what we did, or if we did anything last year. We normally have like a slightly nicer than normal dinner at home, or maybe a takeout or something. But we wouldn't go out for dinner for Valentine's Day. But I do love doing stuff for the kids. So just putting stuff back in the cupboard now, basically making sure that I have everything that I'm not using regularly in the back. So like the birthday cake supplies, for example, that can all go at the back. And at the front, we have more of our like everyday cake supplies, because the kind of cakes that I'm making, you know, these are not like showstopper cakes. I am making your Victoria sponges and your carrot cakes and your kind of traditional cakes. That's what I really enjoy making. I hate the fact that shop bought cakes so often have like tons of preservatives and ingredients that you just wouldn't find in your own kitchen and you wouldn't really want to be eating if you have that choice. And I really like the fact that, you know, homemade cakes, they just taste so much better. But, you know, I'm not making these like amazing cakes every week. They're mostly basic cakes. And I made cakes for a little play date that my 2-year-old had with a friend today, which were like cupcakes made in the air fryer. And I have never done this before. Like, I'm still an air fryer newbie. I thought they came out really well, actually. I was really surprised. So this has opened up like a whole new like avenue of potential for me. Air fryer cakes, which was so much quicker and you don't have to worry about heating up the oven. Mess was minimal, and I got like these little silicone cupcake cases. So I literally made like 6 cupcakes in one of the air fryer trays, and yeah, they came out really well. So I am going through our baking sheets now just to check like what is there, give the drawer a tidy out. And I actually did not declutter anything from this drawer. And sometimes that happens. Like, I was pretty confident I wouldn't need to either, because this drawer isn't very big. It's always stopped us from, you know, buying any additional trays that we don't need. I could probably do with upgrading one of them in particular that I don't particularly like. But because I haven't done that and I don't have that on the radar to do right now, I know that I need the other tray. So once I manage to like upgrade it, or if I see something in the shops that I like, then I will make sure I get rid of the other one. But until then, I feel like we are regularly using everything in here. A couple of the trays are more for making cakes and brownies. This is the green tray. It's the one I don't like so much, but we do need it sometimes, therefore we'll keep it in there. But otherwise, I feel like this particular drawer is in good condition, but it was nice to give it a little wipe down anyway. So I will show you everything I managed to get rid of, and it wasn't that much at all, but every little bit helps. And what I did manage to do was reorganize some stuff, and also like separate out some of the sprinkles that we'd used recently to make sure that we use those up soon. So I'm confident that we can get through some more things. So here we have just, you know, an old party bag, that empty bag of flour, some yeast that's gone out of date really annoyingly, and a couple of containers. And that is it. I will see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.